I'm gonna show you how you can save a lot of time on creating your podcast show notes by using this AI tool called Video Tap. And what you can do is you can take your YouTube video podcast and add them inside of the software right here, and it's going to create your podcast show notes for you. Now, I've already done one. The title here is called the 5 Simple Instagram Tips to Get More Engagements, Likes, and Shares. And but before I show you that, I'm going to show you how you can upload your video, right? So you just come over here and you just want to tap on the add your videos, right? So you click that, and then you can just upload your videos right here from your desktop or laptop right there. Okay, so what you do is just come over here through these three dots. Once the video is uploaded, you can just click this and you just want to come down to the podcast section right there. So once I tap on that, it's going to take me over here to my podcast show notes. Now this takes literally like just a few minutes, and it's going to have everything done for your podcast show notes, guys. I really love this here. Now they also give you some tools up here to the top. You got the redo right there. You got undo. You got the H2, H3, and stuff like that. And also it saves this stuff automatically. So if you're making changes inside of here, if you want to add in some links to your, if you have an somebody who's on a podcast with you, like an author or something like that, you want to include their links, it's going to automatically save this when you export it. So what we have here is we got this. I think this is going to be a title right here, and then you got the table of contents. So it breaks everything down for you, what's going to be in your show notes. Then you have the introduction here, and what it says, "Welcome to the podcast episode," where Anthony from it's supposed to be saying AskAnthonyJohnson.com shares some invaluable insights for boosting your engagement on Instagram. So that's the introduction. I think that sounds very nice right there, how they have done the introduction for me. So I scroll down, and then it goes into the profile optimization. It talks about the how having a strong Instagram profile as your digital business card is, talking about that. All right, so these are some things I talked about inside of my video, and I also talked about the capturing the capture page and how that's going to be important, and it talks about that. So it is actually doing this job. It's actually summarizing the video, and it's just coming up with these great content for my show notes, right? And they also have the effectiveness of hashtags. I talked about that inside of the video, and then it comes up with a conclusion right here. So it said these practical steps, when implemented, can dramatically increase your engagement on Instagram. All right, now it has the related resources and links. So just like I was saying before, if you have like somebody on your podcast show, you want to include their links inside of there, you can put them here. You can put your links to your website, your social media links. You can put all that in here for the related links. And then it has an episode summary. So it's going to just summarize what you're talking about in your episode on your podcast. And we come down here, it also has some takeaways. And my takeaways inside the video was really, it was talking about optimizing your profile to clearly articulate your services. And I was talking about the capture page and researching to find effective niche and hashtags, focusing on connecting with your target audience. Yep, I talked about all of this inside of my video. So then you have some quotes and examples. So you can use these on x.com and try to drive some traffic back to your podcast episodes. So this will be very helpful. Or you can just put them on LinkedIn or Facebook, which one you like. So it comes up with quite a few of those. And then it has some detailed episode breakdowns. So I really like this, where it's going to show you when I started talking about the profile optimization. So that started at 37 seconds. And goes into when I talked about the capture page importance that started at 1 minute 18 seconds. So people can jump right to the podcast episode that they like the most. So when I scroll down, it also has the social media highlights, and you can just copy and paste these and put them on like social media to drive more traffic to your podcast, right? Then it has a wrap up. Okay, so let's see what it says here. It says, we'll love to hear your thoughts. Share your own Instagram engagement tips or experiences in the comments. Subscribe to our podcast for more insightful episodes. That was a good wrap up right there. So I can really use this type of content in my show notes there. And it also has this feature here on the side where you can add a screenshot. So you click that. Now you couldn't find anything for this right here, but let's say if on one of your on your podcast, if it finds some a relevant like an image, it's going to screenshot that, and you can use these images in your show notes right here. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature right there. All right, so let's go all the way back up here. Is one more feature that I want to show you. Let me go all the way back up here to the top. You got a regenerate right here. And this is going to be helpful if, let's say, if you're on different platforms, right? And you don't want the content to be the same. You may want to rewrite this content a little bit and post it on another platform, right? That, where you can share your information on a different podcast directory. So you can just hit here and it's going to come up with some different content. So let's just click that, and it's generating the podcast show notes. So it's using AI to convert the video into like a podcast. So it's going to take just a few minutes right here for it to generate some new show notes. Okay, that just took just a few seconds and it has already generate a new podcast show notes. So I'm just going to scroll through this, skim through this real quick here and see what it has come up with. Let's look at the differences here. Okay, yeah, it has definitely came up with some new content here. I can see that. All right, so let me scroll down. Let me see what else they come up with here. Yes, they have some different resource related resource links here. Let's see the episode summary. I think this has changed also. Okay. And it'll come up with some new quotes and examples here. Yeah, so it has worked, guys. It works. And I really like this right here. So now I can post it on multiple podcast platforms now instead of just one. So, guys, this is Video Tap. And if you like this feature and you have a podcast and you want to save time on creating your podcast show notes, I think that this is going to be very helpful for you and save you a lot of time. And I'm also going to drop a link in the description if you want to check this out, guys. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.